What's good, everybody? My name is Philip Butler, I'm the founder of the Seekr Project. We have a lot of exciting things rolling up from Seekr specifically, but this right here is something that I think is the beginning of a special treat for everyone that tunes in to Seekr, cares a little bit about what Seekr's going on, and just interested in the platform, mainly because what I want to bring to folks, particularly folks, black folks, folks from the global majority, is a demonstration of what internal family systems or otherwise known as IFS can do. And I'm highlighting this particularly because Seekr is primarily trained on IFS. When you have a conversation with Seekr, you're mainly engaging in what an IFS conversation or IFS kind of therapy session would look like. And so I'm also IFS level 1 trained. What does that mean? That means that within the larger world of internal family systems therapy, they take folks through levels, right? You can go all the way up to level 3 at the moment. But as of recently, IFS, the Institute, the IFSI Institute has been in partnership with Black Therapist Rocks, and they've just completed their third BTR and IFS kind of sponsored or kind of partnered level 1 training. I came in at the second iteration, and I was actually had the privilege of being on staff for this third one. And so when you go through a level 1 training with IFS, one of the things that you witness are some of the folks who are more seasoned in the model demonstrating what an IFS session kind of looks like. And for folks who have gone through this training, I think many of us can attest to we've witnessed like some really deep and powerful healing just by watching other folks kind of wrestle with their parts. And I think that's something that is particularly like special, and I wanted to bring this to folks kind of in a broader sense. Like I'm sure that, you know, and I know that there are actually, right, there are kind of different iterations of kind of IFS sessions in different spaces, but what I wanted to do in particular was bring IFS demos to Black communities and communities within the global majority. And so what we're going to be doing here on the Seekr platform is in different iterations, we're going to be bringing IFS demos. And so we're going to have folks from different modes of embodiment, different genders, in different kind of orientations, and bringing them together and have them sit in the therapist role, sit in the client role, and we're just going to have conversations around parts. We have initially planned for a few different seasons. We're going to hopefully do about 10 to 12 episodes per season. And this particular first installment, this first few episodes, we're going to be wrestling with just different forms of anxiety. So the person who is sitting in the client chair, right? The client chair is roughly going to be talking about, or not coming to you, but just entering the session, just with some of the anxieties that are on their heart at the moment. And one of the beautiful things when everybody brings themselves to the model or to the session, there are plenty of different things that come up, and so nobody's anxieties are going to look the same, and we're going to get an open doorway into the mind or the system of the individuals who choose to sit in the client's chair. So I just wanted to highlight the fact that within the IFS session, it's always good to remember that the person who is in the client's chair is always in control, right? We want to make sure that there's a level of comfort and a level of recognition that the conversation or the session is not going to go beyond their comfort. We're not going to go and delve into spaces in the recesses of one's mind that are going to re-traumatize. I think that's one of the beautiful things of the IFS model. It's not pathologizing, and in many cases, you're not going to be re-traumatized through engagement with the model, mainly because we're not recounting stories. We're really sitting with our parts, or sitting with our emotions, and doing so in kind of a loving and a compassionate way, and just giving ourselves space and to be able to sit there and be with these parts of ourselves in ways that we may not, right? And in a lot of different situations or scenarios. And so you have two young ladies who are going to be leading us off in this series. You are in for a particular treat, and so I think I would say a treat and a surprise. And with that being said, I'm hoping that this is something that can be transformative for folks in the long run, and that we can begin a much larger and longer conversation about what IFS looks like in Black communities and communities from around the global majority. Thank you for tuning in, and please enjoy what comes up next.
All right. So, are you feeling ready to go inside?
I think so. I think
Okay.
so.
Okay. Yeah. If at any point you need to open your eyes or anything comes up that's too much or too fast or too soon, just let me know.
Okay.
Okay. As you're closing your eyes, take your time to go inside. Let this be a moment of pause. If it feels right, you might take a deep breath or two just to be without any need to do anything. When it feels right, you might begin to shift your awareness a bit more inside so that any thoughts or ideas, any emotions, any physical sensations that are present, you become more aware of.
Mm. I love doing this because I do not pay a lot of attention to my body. And when we do this, I'm in my body. I feel all
Mhm.
the things.
Yeah. It's easy to be focused externally. Yeah. So does that mean you're noticing a little bit right now?
I'm noticing different sensations and pain and
Mhm.
things that I think were there that I just wasn't paying attention to.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. So it
Yeah.
sounds like, yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
I feel like I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety. Um, and that has been manifesting as like fear and stress.
Mhm.
Um, I can feel it right now, like in my shoulders and my low back.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. So allow yourself to focus on those sensations, those emotions, if you feel right, your shoulders and your back.
hmm
You
Yeah,
might see what else you notice. Go ahead.
I noticed. Um, I noticed with my shoulders that it's harder to like release them. Like it's harder to push them down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I'm noticing that they're like more hunched than they should be.
Mm-hmm.
Just not as relaxed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's some tension there.
hmm
Mhm. Yeah. What else goes with that tension? Is that, what would you call it? Fear? You mentioned fear, stress, and anxiety.
hmm Yeah. Just like stuff I gotta do. Like that's what's coming. It's like, there's so many things I need to do. There's things that I am afraid to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what's crazy is I'm not necessarily afraid of failure. I'm almost like afraid of success.
Yeah.
Like I'm not feeling, I think those are two sides of the same coin, but I'm not really feeling like, oh, I'm afraid to do this thing because I think I'm gonna do bad at it. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's, yeah, I'm feeling like it's more intense as I'm talking, like the pain
Mhm.
in my shoulders and like in my upper back. And it's just like the fear and stress and anxiety around like I have things I need to do. There's shifts I'm making in my life, in my
Mhm.
career. There's a lot of shifts right now.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm feeling. Oof, that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Is it okay to stay focusing on it for a little bit?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. So you're starting to get some information around where this tension comes from in your shoulders. It sounds like there's a part of you there that has its own narrative. Mhm.
Yeah, there's a couple of parts I'm noticing.
Mhm.
There's a part that definitely feels like, yeah, we got stuff to do. Like, we need to do this, this, and this. Like, what are we waiting on?
Mhm.
And there's another part that's very fearful of change.
Okay.
Um, I'm noticing three parts. So there's the one that is like, yep, let's go. Let's go. There's one that's like, I don't know, like fear of the unknown, change, all of
Mhm.
that. And then
Mhm.
there's another part that's like, and that part feels very wise. Feels like an elder.
Yeah.
And that part is just like you can't stop it from happening. Like you can't, it's talking to the part that's afraid and saying like you can't make things stand still. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Like you can, that part has been very intent on like inaction so
Mhm.
that things won't change.
Mhm.
And that other part is like, it doesn't matter what you do or don't do, it's still gonna change.
Right. Right.
So those are the parts I'm noticing right now that are like
Mhm.
active.
Yeah, they're all competing for your presence. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm. So as you notice that, are they all located around the same place in your body? I see that you put your hand on your chest.
Yeah, I think they're in different places. I think that the fear is in my back and my shoulders.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think the elder is right here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I feel and my other hand is on my stomach, like my solar plexus. I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
that's where I think that first part is
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
in my body. That's
Yeah.
like, oh, let's go, let's do it. We got like that part has a plan. That part is like wants to check all the boxes. Like, okay, let's do this, let's do this, let's do
Mhm.
that. It's like ready for the newness.
Right. Yeah.
Um, it
Yeah.
feels like so young and like motivated and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, mm,
Yeah. So let's take a moment to just kind of slow everything down a bit. And I know for that part of you at your solar plexus that has a sense of urgency, just want to affirm that part because I know slowing down may be a bit of
mhm,
a challenge for it, but we're just going to slow down just so that everyone can be heard right? Because there's 3 separate parts right now showing up in 3 separate places in your body.
Yeah.
So I just want to offer you, Dominique, to just take some deep breaths if it feels right. Just sending the message to your system that everyone will be heard. Everyone will get a chance to share.
That part is just like a little giddy part. It's just like a little kid that's just like, okay, like just happy. I'm like, we're gonna slow down. They're like, okay, as long as you still do it. Like,
Right.
they just are like waiting for somebody to let them off the leash so they can run.
Yeah. So if you
Mm,
feel any positive feelings toward any 3 of these parts, you can share that with them, right?
yeah.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to offer you then to just see which part feels the most urgent to get to first. Is there a part that's louder or where their sensation is more intense?
I think the fear is the most intense.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually the quietest.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think the fear feels kind of banished.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, nobody wants me here. Like,
Right.
very like go sit in a corner with your head down and back
Yeah.
turned. Like it feels very dark. It feels very dismissed,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah.
rejected.
Yeah. So as you recognize that about this fear, how are you feeling toward it?
I feel bad for it. I feel sorry for it. Um, I feel like I understand
Mm-hmm.
uh, why it feels rejected, and I feel bad.
Yeah.
Or is it that that it feels that way?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want it to feel that way, but I
Mm-hmm.
understand why it does.
Yeah. So what if you share with this part that you understand why it feels the way it feels?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's still quiet, but it's like receiving what I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like peeking out, like, oh, like you're talking to me, like.
Yeah. Yeah. How old does it seem?
Um, I don't know, somewhere between 3 and 5. It's like
Mm-hmm.
really young.
Yeah. So really little. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So this part seems kind of surprised that you're speaking to it, spending time with it.
Hmm.
Yeah. So check with your system, see if there's anything you want to share with this part about that.
This part, I was just sharing with it, and what I'm also getting from it is that it just feels alone.
Mhm.
And it's been feeling alone.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
sharing, I don't want it to feel alone.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm here. Sorry, I haven't already been here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have to be alone anymore. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take your time, just be there and see if there's anything this part needs from you or needs you to know, needs to show you.
It says it is really scary. And it like what I'm getting is um like I'm telling the truth. Like it is something to be afraid of. Like it is scary.
Yeah.
Um, almost feels like a little kid that's um like no, there really is a monster under the bed. Like I promise. Like when they're talking to an adult that's like there's nothing to be afraid of. They're like, no, really there is.
Yeah.
That's like what it's saying to me.
Yeah. This is very real for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See if you can be there in a loving way with this part.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm like holding this part
Mm-hmm.
and like kind of rocking it, and it likes that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. There's no rush. If it feels right, you may just remind this part that if and when it's ready, whether that's now or later, it can share with you any and everything it's been through,
Mm-hmm.
that it's not alone in that.
Yeah, it's like I just want you to be here.
Mm.
I just want you to be here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, do you have a way you may want to reply to that? Mhm.
I'm just telling it like I can be here. I'm here. I
Mhm.
already feel like I'm sorry that I wasn't here before.
Yeah. Yeah. And how's the part receiving that from you?
Yeah, it's still very quiet, but I can feel that it's receiving that.
Mhm.
Um, it feels very like latched on, like
Mhm.
like how little kids like latch, like you can't put them down. Like that's how it feels right now. Like I'm not going anywhere.
Mhm. Mhm. It really needs your presence. It's been waiting for this. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm just like I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah. So you'll stay with this part, right? A piece of you can stay with this part always, right?
Mhm.
I'm just curious for you as we're getting close toward a pause or a moment of, closure.
Mhm.
Where are you with the part?
I feel, well, we're still in the same position, and I feel just kind of like it's not really ready to talk to me, but like it's helpful that I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just wants to see if I'll stay with it.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
What about like a spatially or in time? Where are you? Are you like in the past, or do you have a sense of time?
no sense of time.
Okay.
I just know that this part is really young,
Mhm.
and it doesn't feel like me.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
part feels like actually like a little boy part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and I don't even know if it's a black boy, which is different. I don't, and in going in my system, I've never met any parts that weren't black. That's different. Um,
Yeah.
it's how do I say this? It's like it's not mine. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like it's not really a part of me, but it's here.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Yeah. So there's some level of sense of disconnection a little bit.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. It feels like it's here, it's present.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like it's found its way into my system, but it doesn't feel like me necessarily.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. How are you feeling about that?
a little surprised, a little kind of, um, yes, definitely surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it feels honest. It feels like, that's what is happening. So that feels okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I think there's another part that's coming up that's kind of like what? Like maybe we do need to get rid of this part.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Mm-hmm.
another part of me that's like, I don't think that part should be here in our system, but
Yeah.
um I don't feel that I feel okay with it, but I do recognize that there's this other part that's like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead and acknowledge that other part that came in that's unsure. Yeah, just acknowledge it, let it know you hear it, and invite it to relax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that part able to soften? Yeah.
Mhm.
If it feels right, you can send a gratitude for doing that.
I'm like, thank you, sis, because that part definitely feel like I get it. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you, sis. That's weird. Like I get it. We
Yeah.
gonna roll with it for now. That part's like, all right, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
saying that's okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Nice exhalation. Yeah. So go back to this part though and just notice how you're feeling toward it now.
It feels distracted. Um, it feels distracted, like it's playing with a toy or something. Like it's not really
Mm-hmm.
um like it knows that I'm there, but it's not really like focused on me.
Okay.
Um, yeah, like it's okay
Mm-hmm.
because it knows that I'm there, but it's definitely not focused on me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And when you notice that, how do you feel toward the part?
Um, I feel like, okay, this is all you needed. Like, I'll just give you a little more attention, you know? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't want to disturb it from being distracted. Like, that's fine.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
but maybe this is all it needed for now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, I honor the wisdom of your system. So I just want to offer to you that as we're getting ready to close out, right? I know you said the part's kind of doing its own thing. You don't want it to disturb it, but there is an option to just check in with it and
Mhm.
see if there's a way it wants to stay connected to you, right? So if that feels right, you could do that.
It's like, just don't leave.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So a piece of you can always remain with this part.
yeah, I said, I'm not gonna leave. I'm gonna come back and check on you.
Yeah, good.
That seems okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely feel less tension in my shoulders, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's still there, but it's less.
Yeah, yeah, good. Notice that.
Yeah.
When you're ready, there's no rush at all, but when you're ready to, you can send gratitude to those other two parts, right? Because there were
Mhm.
three, right? You know, just gratitude that they were able to relax enough that you could work with the fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just see if there's any way those other two parts want to stay connected to you. You'll come back and spend more time with them, but for now, if there's any way.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Ooh. Mm.
Can you
Girl.
take anything out?
The anxiety that was brewing. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was needed. That was needed.
Good. Good. Yeah.
Mm.
A little bit different.
Yeah, I do. I do.
Mhm.
I do. And it feels like more manageable.
Mm-hmm.
Like just in general, when I go back, the fear and anxiety will be more manageable than
Right.
before. Um, when I wasn't really like paying attention enough to like, examine it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Good.